Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of How to Achieve Financial Peace with your host, Mr. Afrah. I'm excited to be back today for another episode of this wonderful show, and my main goals are to achieve your version of financial peace and to build generational wealth. If I'm not doing that, please let me know and I'll work to improve it. What we're going to have on the show today is setting financial goals is our main topic. What's a financial goal? What's my goals? And more topics about that. We also cover the stock market for today. We're going to have a question of the day, article of the day, another exciting article for everyone to benefit. I'm going to have a quote of the day, and we'll also end with Ayaa of the day as usually. So please welcome again. If you haven't listened to the other episodes, I recommend going back to the 12 steps to financial peace and to setting your net worth, and you will benefit as well. So welcome again, and please share with everyone who can benefit from this program. Let's get right into our first program of the day. I'll be discussing setting financial goals. So what's a financial goal? How do you define it? I'll define it as planning for your money. What's the plan for your money? Also, it's also telling your money where it will go. So where do you want your money to go? Do you want it to go towards saving for a house? Do you want your money to go towards paying off debt? Do you want your money to go to retirement? What's your plan for your money? The next thing we're gonna talk about is smart goals. You want your goals to be smart. So what do I mean by smart? It has to be the SMART acronym, S-M-A-R-T. They all stand for something. So here they go. The S, it stands for specific. It has to be something very specific you want to achieve. Measurable, you can measure it. Can you measure it? Can you see if this is measurable? The third one is the A, achievable. Is this achievable? Can you achieve this for yourself? The fourth is the R, the realistic. Is this realistic for your own self? Not for others, but for your own self. You know better than anyone yourself. Are you setting a realistic goal? Is it specific? The T is for time specific. Is it time specific? Did you put a time on it? Or are you just putting a goal and you don't have a time on it when you should be done? If you're not putting a time on it, it's not really a smart goal, and you want it to be smart so you can be able to knock it out of the way and you can set even bigger goals. So let's see some of the examples of short-term versus long-term. So what's a short-term goal? Short-term goal is something you want to achieve in the next year or two. Now I would consider that as a short-term. And long-term goals are once the goals you set for yourself more than 2 years. So something that will take a long time to get to, more than 2 years, I will consider that as a long-term goal. So what's an example of a short-term goal? Short-term goal can be an example of saving for the 2000 emergency fund in the steps in the 12 steps to financial peace by December 31st of 2023. I will consider that as a short-term financial goal. It's specific, it's $2,000. It's measurable, you can see you need to get to $2,000, and also it's time specific, you gotta get it done by the end of next year, and that kind of motivates you. A long-term goal example will be paying off $100,000 in debt by 12/31/2026. That's about 3 years. You put that as a goal and you set it down, and then once you have that, you can work backwards and see how much you need to pay every month, and you can calculate that. You can see 3 years. If you take a calculator, let's just take a calculator here, and then we'll just do a quick calculation and see how much you're gonna need to pay every month. And also remember, if you do the snowball method, you're gonna pay the smallest and knock that out, and then get to the biggest at the end, and that way you have more money to tackle the bigger debt, and that should take you a lot further in your financial goals. Okay, so here's a calculator. Let's do 100,000. 100,000 divided by 3 years, and then divided by 12 months. This is just a quick example. You will need about $2,778 a month to be able to achieve that goal. So is it doable? Is that realistic for yourself? Yeah, think about that and see what you come up with. Another important factor of setting up your financial goals is writing it down. If you're not writing it down, then you can forget it and it doesn't stick. And I'm a big believer of writing down goals and setting goals every year, and every couple of years, every 5 years, you have goals. You have goals for 10 years. You have goals for 20 years, 30 years, even 50 years. Why not? Write it down, set the goal, think about it, and then another important factor is having an accountability partner. You have somebody you're accountable to with your goals, and also somebody who will, hold you accountable. Or are you holding yourself accountable? Most of the time, most people, they can't hold themselves accountable. You need a second person that will ask you, hey, you set a goal to save $2,000. How's that going? Yeah, how much did you save so far? Is that coming along? Or, yeah, I know you set a long-term goal of paying that $100,000 debt. How's that going? Have you been able to pay off? So, yeah, it helps. If somebody asks you that, you can answer, and it motivates you. I believe it motivates you. And then finally, the best practices for setting a financial goal. What should you do to achieve a good financial goal? The first thing is, make sure it's a smart goal. Obviously, you want it to be smart, and also motivational. You want it to motivate you, not something that is too low. Don't set a low bar. It's not gonna motivate you. Set a medium to high bar. Is it challenging? Is it gonna challenge you? Is it gonna make you make you go into an extra gear? Yes. If it makes you go to extra gear, that's a good goal. Is it gonna help you think outside the box? Is it helping you think of your net worth? Like, hey, I could set a financial goal for my net worth, for my family, and I can work towards that. Yeah. So it makes you think outside the box, makes you look for a side hustle. Is it making you be an entrepreneur, look into entrepreneurship? That's a good goal, so yeah, you got all the options. So yeah, go ahead and do that. So that's the program for setting financial goals. Let me know what you think. Now let's go ahead and look at the stock market and crypto of the world today. The S&P 500 is at 3,957. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is at 33,537. The Nasdaq is at $11,196. The Russell 2000 is at 1,861. The FTSE 100 is at 7,393. The Nikkei 225 is at 27,990. And let's look at gold. Gold is trading at 1,780. Crude oil is trading at $85.23. Let's look at some crypto. Bitcoin is trading at 20,466. Ethereum is trading at 1,566. That's the market of the day. Let's move on to the question of the day. I had a really good question from listener Sabrina from Ohio. Send me a question. Here's the question. By the way, send me a question to howtoachievefinancialpeace at gmail.com. It's going to be on the show note if you want to send me a question. Here goes the question. I'm having trouble saving for a house down payment. What can I do to get At home? Well, that's an excellent question, and thank you for sending in the question. Here we go. Let me answer to my best. Are you having trouble because you are not able to generate enough income? To answer the question, here's what I have to say. Write down, do you have a budget? Budget is your best friend. Go ahead and write down a budget for yourself for every month, and you budget for everything, your income and your expenses, and see where your money is going. Can you take money from somewhere else and save it for down payment? Did you pay off your debt? If you didn't pay off your debt, I recommend you pay off your debt. It will make it easy to save for a house down payment. Can you get a second job? Can you get a side hustle to help come up with extra payment? Are you married? Do you have a second income? Can you combine both incomes to be able to tackle that down payment to get you into a home? Because a home is important for its value, for its mentally it's much better to be in your own home, and you can build equity on your home. You can own your home. That's the whole plan, is to own the home. So there you go. That's the question of the day. Let's go to the article of the day. Article of the day comes from Yahoo. It's called Financial Planning is Good for Your Overall Health. Study finds. So they did a study from Northwestern Mutual 2022 Planning and Progress study. Obviously, Northwestern Mutual did it, so they have their own biases. Everyone's got their own biases, but this is what they found, that those with financial plans, those have financial goals, are happier and sleep better than those who don't. So if you're setting financial plan, you're doing your financial planning, you're setting your financial goals, you are way better at being happy, and you sleep much better. And they found 84% of disciplined planners reported they are happy or somewhat happy. Up to 84% of the people who plan and set goals. 76% of disciplined planners also say they sleep well or very well. Is that true for you? Do you sleep better? Are you a planner? If you're not, it's good to think about it. So what's the main point of the article? Finances are a common source of anxiety and stress. They are. It makes sense that those who plan will be less stressed and are happy and sleep better, which makes sense as well. You'll be much better off to get to your version of financial peace. So go ahead. I will have a link on the show note for the article. You can go ahead and read more details about it, and they go into what you can do to get yourself in a better shape, just like this program. Go ahead and read the article. Let's go to the quote of the day. Quote of the day. Look at your goals as a challenge. Challenges can be overcome and conquered by your host, Mr. Afrah. Look at your goal as a challenge. Challenges can be overcome and conquered. We're going to finish with Ayaa of the day. So, verily with hardship there is a relief, from Surah 94, Ayah 5 to 6. So verily with hardship there is a relief